You think you've said it. You think you've made it clear. But she doesn't respond. She doesn't seem to listen to you. You feel invisible, and eventually you start wondering if you even matter. In my breakout video, Why Nice Guys Leave Without Warning, I talked about how men walk away from relationships after years of quiet frustration. But here's what I didn't explain: why that frustration builds up in the first place. It's because these men think they've been communicating for years, but they haven't been. Not really. It's like you're on FM and she's on AM, and it doesn't seem possible to tune into each other's frequencies. Indirect communication is one of the struggles of nice guys. It leads to so much unnecessary frustration, and it's one of the big blind spots most nice guys have. I know this story well because I used to be an indirect communicating nice guy. It took years of relationship struggles before I finally decided to work on myself and figure out what the problem was. It takes humility to admit to ourselves that we've been indirect communicators because the other person is often at least partially to blame as well. I've been in relationships with women who were poor communicators, and that just made my efforts to communicate more difficult. But today's video isn't about blame. It's not about partners with difficult personality styles. It's not about shaming the nice guy either. It's about agency. It's about what nice guys can do to be more effective communicators. If you've struggled with this kind of communication or felt like no one's really heard you, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear what that's looked like for you. And if content like this resonates with you, please give it a like so I know you want to see more of it. Be sure to watch the whole video if you want to hear the 5 things that help me turn this pattern around. Now, if you're new to the concept of nice guys, I want to be clear about what I mean. I always seem to get some comments from guys who say, well, there's nothing wrong with being nice. I'm not talking about kind and generous men who have good boundaries and are emotionally honest. I'm referring to nice guy syndrome as described by Dr. Robert Glover. Nice guys tend to perform. They avoid conflict, are excessively agreeable, usually hide their true selves, and often do things for others secretly hoping to get something in return. They also communicate indirectly, and that's my focus today. One of the ways they do this is to drop hints. They may say everything is fine with an unconvincing facial expression or even a fake smile. If they're upset, they might sulk or sigh and hope their partner notices. Nice guys can also be passive-aggressive. They might withdraw, go silent, use sarcasm, or stomp around the house and slam doors to punish their partner without even admitting they're upset. If their partner asks for their opinion about something, they will likely reply in a way that involves second-guessing what they think their partner wants. They probably won't share their honest preference and opinion, but they will give an answer that they believe is likely to avoid creating conflict or disagreement. She might say, do you want to get something to eat? And he says, sure, regardless of how he actually feels. She then says, well, what are you in the mood for? And he replies, well, whatever you want is fine, even if he has a preference. Does that sound familiar? I used to do that. Nice guys often just go along with doing things their partner asks them to do, or doing things with their partner that they don't really want to do. But instead of saying so, nice guys usually just say, it's fine, to avoid conflict. Now, we all know that relationships involve some degree of healthy compromise to work, right? They're not just one-sided. But the problem is nice guys tend to sacrifice themselves to an unhealthy degree in relationships. They can completely lose themselves in relationships. Most nice guys are not bad people, and they're not intentionally deceiving anyone. They truly believe they're just being kind. But they make an assumption that being nice somehow earns understanding. The problem is it doesn't work because people aren't mind readers. Although most nice guys lack self-awareness about their indirect communication style, the indirectness itself isn't accidental. It's rooted in fear of conflict, rejection, or of being too much. It's often rooted in childhood, where the nice guys learned their behavior in order to get their needs met. They wanted to keep the peace, they wanted everyone to be happy, and they wanted to be loved and accepted. It made sense, right? But what helped them survive emotionally as kids now sabotages their ability to build authentic, trusting connection as adults. One form of communication that is still indirect, but it feels direct to nice guys, is emotional dumping. Nice guys usually keep their outward temper under control, but sometimes they've just had enough and they vent their frustration toward their partner. Now it should be crystal clear how they feel, right? It seems that way to them, but complaining or emotionally unloading without direction leaves the partner feeling helpless or attacked. Another communication trap nice guys can fall into is the "you should know" trap. They expect their partner to intuitively know their needs, and they feel hurt when that doesn't happen. Now, if you think about it, it's not really surprising that nice guys do this. After all, they are hyper tuned into their partner's needs, and they attempt to intuitively know their own partner's needs. So why shouldn't their partner do the same for them? The problem is that we want to all be on the same page as each other in a relationship, then expecting them to read our minds isn't effective. It doesn't work, and it just becomes a form of passive entitlement. The indirect communication style of nice guys not only results in their own frustration, it also creates distance in the relationship, which is exactly the opposite of what the nice guy wants to happen. He wants closeness, typically. Nice guys don't realize this, but their communication style causes them to lose credibility with their partners. Partners eventually tune out, lose trust, or even start resenting the nice guy for being unclear or emotionally slippery. Over time, even when they do try to speak up more clearly, it's too little, too late, and the partner just doesn't take it seriously anymore. I remember this happening to me toward the end of my long marriage. I just didn't have the self-awareness to understand it then, but it was really a downward spiral in communication effectiveness. I felt like by the end, I literally had no voice. And I didn't realize it, but I had slowly trained myself to go unheard. So if you want to shift from invisible to understood, here are 5 things that help me and that can help you communicate in a way that actually gets heard. Now, it's going to take some time and consistent practice, especially if you've been doing this a long time. 1, get clear on what you actually want or feel. So before you even try to speak, ask yourself, what do I really want? What do I actually feel? And for years, I kind of didn't know. I just knew I was unhappy or tense, but I didn't dig any deeper. And if all you say is, I don't know, or I'm just tired, you're not helping her understand you. You're hiding. 2, speak in statements, not hints. Say the thing, not the soft version of the thing. Not, you must be tired from work again, huh? Like you're indirectly probing. But hey, I miss talking with you. I'd love some time together tonight, even if it's short. Most nice guys try to feel things out instead of leading with truth. It feels safer that way, but it's less effective, and it also doesn't create attraction. 3, own your needs without guilt. One of the hardest things I learned was this: expressing a need isn't selfish. Everyone has needs. The more you can stop putting the other person on a pedestal and start seeing yourself as an equal, the easier this one will get. You don't need to justify wanting closeness or space or respect, affection, clarity, or sex. You just need to be honest about it. Keep in mind, it may not be your partner's job to meet all your needs, but it is your job to name them. 4, ask, don't expect. Nice guys expect things they never clearly ask for. Then they feel disappointed when their partner doesn't deliver. Ask cleanly. Would you be open to going for a walk tonight after dinner? Or, could we try setting aside one night a week just for the 2 of us? I'd really like that. Instead of saying like, oh, you never want to spend time with me, or I guess it doesn't matter to you anyway. That's not asking, that's guilt tripping. 5, expect discomfort, not agreement. Clear communication isn't always smooth. In fact, if you've been indirect for years, this is going to take some time. Your partner may be surprised or even skeptical when you start being direct, and that's okay. Let clarity become a habit. Let your actions rebuild trust. Whatever you do, don't explain that you're going to start communicating differently. That'll backfire. You probably won't be taken seriously. Just start doing it. If you're tired of feeling unheard, don't wait for someone to read your mind. You don't need the perfect words. You just need to be honest and real. And the most important take-home point from this whole video is say what you mean and mean what you say. And that's how you stop feeling invisible. That's how you start to get your voice back. Start and keep practicing. And if that message resonates with you, be sure to subscribe. I'm just getting started. This channel's pretty new. I'm going to make more content like this. Have a great day.